Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to do a little bit of a shop my stash and create this makeup look using what I found. I stuck to my high-end drawers this time. So let's go back in time and watch me pick out these goodies and then put them all over my face. Okay, I have my little bin here. I'm going to start with this Makeup Forever HD foundation stick. I have the color 115 or R230. They changed the way their colors are, so I don't remember which one's the right one. I think it's R230. So I do keep the little lid to keep her fresh. So here's that in the shade R230. Sorry if you can see fuzzies in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna swipe. I feel like this is pretty full coverage, so I'm gonna do just a couple. I haven't used this in a while, but I do remember really liking it. I don't have a high-end I don't have very many high-end brushes, so I'm going to use what I have, okay? So this is the e.l.f. Foundation Blurring Brush, and I really like this one for stick foundation. So that color is really good for me. Blends into my neck really well. And I don't have a summer color. I almost never do. It's not just because of cutie. As you can see, this looks super skin-like and has a nice glow to it. It evened out my complexion very well, but it's not full coverage. You can see some scarring in here, and I can see my freckles up here and a little bit of my redness. So I am going to go over with a second little layer and see what this baby can do. Little layer, I meant a big layer. We're going full steam ahead. This is, you know, the high end. Let's go full glam or something. I don't know if I know what full glam is, really. You tell me. If you have really oily skin, I don't think you would like this foundation. I do remember it is quite moisturizing. But if you have dry skin, try it out. This was the first high-end foundation that I tried that I actually liked. I've tried a lot that I don't like. Or didn't think like they were much different than anything I tried at the drugstore. One thing I will warn you about this, if you have not tried it, it smells like, it doesn't smell as much anymore because I've had it for a while actually, which is kind of weird, but when you first get it, it smells, it's the weirdest, most unpleasant, fishy smell. I don't know, it's weird. As you can see, it made it like maybe medium, high medium coverage. I did choose the NARS Radiant Creamy. I've never really liked this, and I think it might just be because the color is too light. It's the color Vanilla Light 2. And then I have a Tarte Shape Tape in Fair Neutral. Now, if you watched my foundation declutter, you know that I don't like the Tarte Shape Tape because it is too matte for my under eyes. It does have good coverage, so sometimes I like to use it like under something or with something else, but I'm mostly just trying to use up what I have of it and not really enjoying it. So I'm going to put a tiny bit on because it is a little bit darker of a color than the NARS one, and I'm going to put it like at the bottom of my under eye and put the NARS one in the inner little section. I don't know, like when I look at it, it doesn't look too light for me, but I just remember it being like really almost like chalky looking. It feels, the consistency of those two are so different. The Tarte Shape Tape is like a light, fluffier formula, if that makes sense, and the NARS one is like a creamy, serum-y feeling. So I'm gonna go up in here, and let's see how far all of this coverage goes. I mean, it has great coverage. I just, maybe also because like, yeah, you can see, I'm gonna zoom you in and we'll see if you can see the delineation between the concealer and the foundation here. There's a line, a clear line, because the Shape Tape is just too dry for my skin. And I even have, you know, 2 kinds of moisturizer on that I let, you know, get into my skin before I started this, and I have a hydrating foundation on, but it just finds a way to just look dry on my under eye. But the coverage is there. There's no denying that. So if you need coverage and you don't have really dry skin or under eyes, I think you would like it like everybody else that hypes it up. The difference between the feeling of these on my eyes is the Tarte dries. I don't feel that it's there at all anymore. The NARS one, I can feel it. It's like all of my little wrinkles are getting sticky and stuck together, which I feel like a lot of people with dry under eyes really like. Kathleen Lights talks about, she really likes emollient, she really likes the Jouer one, she really likes the Tarte Maracuja one. I just can't, I don't understand why you would like the sticky one if you have dry, crepey under eyes. For me, it makes my wrinkles stick together and therefore are more prominent, and I think she kind of describes it as it stays emollient, so you can kind of pat it out as you go, but it's so sticky to me that like I can't pat it out. It like gets stuck to my fingers and then I lose coverage. It's very weird. So just from feeling the NARS one on my eye, I don't like it, but looking at it, you can see the difference. I don't know if you can, but I can see in person the difference. The NARS one is reflecting the light. So in person, when I look here, I can still see a bit of the gray cast of my under eye, but when I look at a light, it reflects the light, so it looks brighter. Whereas the Tarte is more matte, but it covers the darkness, if that makes sense. I think, I'm not sure if you can see that on camera. I think on camera, I look pretty flawless, if I do say so myself. So one reason I wanted to start doing shop my stash style videos is because I have a lot of makeup and I need to shop my stash and stop shopping online. And I am taking the, I've already opened it, but the Laura Mercier translucent powder. You've seen me use this before. Then I have this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked from a few, I think it was Christmas 2018. It's the gold packaging, and the inside looks like this. What I like to do is take the 2 powders here, which are finishing powder in soft light and filtered light. Just take a fluffy brush and go into both of them. I have this extremely old Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and actually I have the shade Medium Deep. What? This is the shade Medium Deep? Guys, what? Are you kidding? Guys, that's, do you see that on my pale hand? Yeah, barely. Are you kidding? I didn't know that. And then I'm going to take my e.l.f. pointed powder brush, and I'm going to go in the bronzer shade here, which is Golden Bronze Light, and I'm gonna mix it with the powder as well, like so. The middle powder, the diffused light, I think. We're gonna go like this, and then so I'm gonna go with the Lorac and use my Real Techniques setting brush. And we're gonna, ooh! Oh my goodness, I look like I'm doing the reverse contour thing right now. That is how bronzed I am and how highlighty this is. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. I have used this before, but not in a long time. That is a Mega Beam highlight. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take my powder brush once over my face and see if we can blend this together a little bit more. This Eco Tools big fluffy brush, I don't know what it's called, is super, super duper soft and lovely. And I'm gonna take the blush in this Hourglass palette as well, Mood Flush, this kind of mauvier color, on my Flower Beauty little blush brush. I'm gonna keep my blush placement a little higher, especially because I'm so chiseled. I don't want to waste the chisel and bring my face back down. And we're gonna see how snatched I look. I have the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. Let's open her up. I'm going to be careful because this shade has already fallen out once. So there she is. So I know this is like a highly loved palette and a highly coveted palette, and that is why I purchased it. I'm going to keep the eyes more in the neutral realm. Let's swatch some of these colors. If you don't have this and you want to see what I'm talking about, I'm going to swatch the shimmers. That way I know what look I'm going for. Lime Chrome. It's very reflective and it's kind of a peachy color, and then it's lime, you know, but it's very sheer. So I think it needs to be used on top of something unless you want really just a wash of that color. Sparks, which is just that, it is just a golden glitter topper. Okay, and then we have Kava, which is kind of a light bronze topper. So I think this is exactly my issue with this palette. I'm not, like, I feel like a topper is a waste. Like in a palette, I could see there being a need for one topper, but that's it. I don't need 3 that need another color underneath them. I like to have like opaque, metallic, with some glitter sometimes, but opaque, metallic, reflective. That's what I go for, which, I mean, you can see that these are reflective, but in person, it does not cover my skin at all. You would definitely need something underneath it, like I said with the other one. Here's the one that fell out, Aurora. Now this one has a little bit of a base, but it is still pretty sheer for how dark of a color that is, and it is just packed with glitter. Okay, and then here is a metallic shade. It's called Oro. This is my vibe right here. 100%. That one in the middle. This, yes. See how opaque that is? Especially compared to these other ones. Opaque, metallic, beautiful. I feel like it would go really well with the Honey palette. And then here is a nice metallic bronze in the shade Varus. So I like this shade a lot too. And it's the same vibe, very opaque, metallic. And then we have Brass, but this is supposed to be a metallic shade too. It's kind of a greeny brass color. There you go, you can see that it's green, but as you can see, it's not as opaque as these first two here. It's a lot more sheer, even though it says it's a metallic, meaning it's like the same formula. It is not the same formula as those two. And this one does have glitter in it, whereas the last two did not. Alchemist, which is marked as a metallic as well. And this one is kind of like an antique golden bronze kind of color, a little bit more copper actually. So there's that one. So far this one, and this one would be my favorites out of everything that I've swatched. This top row is like, throw it away. That's 4 shades out of this very expensive palette that I don't like. So I think that's why, you know, I don't obsess over Natasha Denona the same way I used to before I had tried her formula. So, and then this one is kind of a bright gold. It's along the bottom there. So those are all of the shimmers. And that last one was called Aurum. And it does have some glitter in it as well. So I'm going to take this really big fluffy brush. It is the BH Cosmetics number 16. And I'm going to take the color Sandstone and the color Aria look very similar in the pan. Oh, nope, the shade Aria is actually the lighter shade. But look how similar those are. I mean, okay, so I'm going to take Aria actually on this big fluffy brush. So now I'm going to take my NYX 16 and I'm going to go into the shade that I was originally going to go into, Sandstone. I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics number 12 and I'm just going to mix, just dot in between the two shades that I just did. I'm just going to go into the shade Aurum. Yes, Aurum. So there's what we have. Just a nice, simple gold look, which is what you can get from the gold palette. It doesn't have to be extremely smoky. I'm going to take this teensy tiny little Morphe brush, but I'm going to take the color Kava very lightly on this little brush and make sure that I'm pressing it in. I'm using my palm and pressing it into the brush because it is just like all glitter and I don't want it to go all over my face, even though it will. But and then we're going to just hit up the inner corner. For mascara, I have the Lancome Hypnose Drama, one of my favorites. Alrighty, I am back. I have lip liner on. This is Rimmel Long Lasting in Natural. And then I'm going to put on this in Tan Line. It's kind of a grungier color. I don't know if you can tell that. It's weird. It's like an orange with a cool undertone, like orange, like a warm nude. It doesn't match the inside of my lip at all. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Sephora color that I thought matched my shirt kind of and go my Raw Beauty Christy trick. So there is that lip color. No butthole lip. And here is the finished look. I think I really figured out today what I like and what I don't like of those items, which is a really good thing. So that can help me declutter more. And I also figured out a few things that I want to keep using and put more into my rotation. And I really like the way that the eye look turned out, especially with like how high I placed my blush and everything like that. But like I said, with the formula of that, it's just like hit or miss for me. I think they're all beautiful, but is it worth that much money? I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to keep using it. And I would definitely get some use out of it in the holiday season because of how many shimmery golds there are. And that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!